See, I feel like it's time for us to like go away from here, you know what I mean? Let's go to Africa. Yo, I've never been more serious in my life. Who says you can't go to Africa? That's our dream, to go to our homeland, where our roots are.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
We're taking our talents to Africa.
To Africa. To Ghana.
What? What? Oh my God, this is big news.
Good day, and thank you for joining us. I'm Dale.
And I'm Dacia.
Welcome back to our channel, Off the Wheel. This is Season 2, Episode 2. And if you're just stumbling across our channel for the first time, we encourage you to leave now, go back to Season 1, Episode 1, and binge watch to catch up. Off the Wheel is a community of Black Americans who decided to jump off the wheel that is America or their own country, and onto our chosen African countries. For us, it was Ghana. As a community, we collectively invest our time and capital to make positive impact in Ghana and other countries. We look to engage, persuade, and recruit you by asking you to ask yourself one simple question, and that is, why wouldn't life be better in Africa? We asked ourselves the question, and we answered it by moving to Ghana. So, if you want to move to Ghana, join our group, join our channel. If you want to invest in Ghana, join our group, join our channel. If you want to buy real estate in Ghana, join our group, join our channel. And if you want to be around other like-minded, well-intentioned expats looking to make impact, join our group.
But before we get started, take a look at our Airbnb, which we offer to visitors, not only who want to visit Ghana for tourism, but also to practice living in Ghana.
Traveling to Ghana? Do we have a stay for you? Off the Wheel is offering modern, comfortable, and safe apartment units, where beyond the usual tourist activities, you have the benefit of a more immersive experience. We provide a unique itinerary to explore local food and neighborhoods, visit nearby beaches, shop markets, and so many other attractions. Whether you're traveling solo or in a group, we can service from 1 to 16 travelers. Enjoy on-premise activities like a gym, tennis, pool, and more. Hosted by 2 former Brooklynites recently relocated, who'll be your on-premise attendants to support and guide you.
We can't wait to show you what life could be like off the wheel.
Looking forward to hosting you.
See you in Ghana. Today's video, part 1 of 2, is for our viewers who ask all the time about shipping from America to Ghana. Interestingly enough, there's not much On Google, when you search, research, we couldn't find much. So we're going to share our own experience shipping our entire apartment from New York City to Ghana.
And hopefully our story can help you in deciding on if shipping a container makes sense for you.
For others, it'll just be pure entertainment watching all of the drama that we went through. And again, this is part 1 of 2. In part 2, we're going to have a discussion with the customs agent that we used in Ghana to answer some of the more pressing questions we hear from you guys all the time. But in this part 1 video, we're going to break it down into the following topics. What they don't tell you. Does it make sense? Economic sense, that is. The actual experience, the drama, the cost, and would we do it again? Before we get started with the list, we want to explain to you how the process works. First off, on the US side, all the shipping companies are primarily agents. They don't own ships, they don't own containers, they don't own trucks. They just coordinate all of these moving parts, kind of like a travel agent who doesn't own any airplanes or hotels. So this is important to know. Any shipping container move can be broken down into 4 parts. Number 1, the first leg, getting your stuff from your home into that container. Number 2, getting that container from your home to the ship. Number 3, then from the ship to the destination country port. And finally, from that port to your new home. Even if you find a company who says they'll do door-to-door, and that you don't have to worry about any of these 4 parts, this is what they are dealing with behind the scenes as well.
I was also surprised to see how the prices of the containers fluctuated and are affected by things all over the world. We had no idea.
So just like that Suez Canal drama that was in 2021, it screwed up worldwide shipping containers. There were 20,000 containers on that ship. There were 49 ships behind that ship with another 400,000 containers. So also supply and demand, pricing starts to increase in July, which is the holiday season. Then sometimes we have a shortage of truckers. So our pricing was affected by general logistical bottlenecks. The Ukraine war was a problem, COVID hangover, and we shipped at the beginning of the holiday season. For us, when we did the math, we asked, should we sell everything and try to repurchase these items in Ghana? Did we even need these items anymore? But we calculated that it would make sense for us to ship a container. If you're single, it might not make sense. The bigger your family is, the more sense it might make. If you're youngish, it might not make sense. The more things you have accumulated over a lifetime, the more sense it may make. If you haven't bought unique or expensive things in life, it might not make sense. Chances are, as an older person or couple, you may have acquired some unique pieces of art or furniture, one-of-a-kind pieces, hard-to-replace pieces, super expensive pieces. If you're moving into a smaller home or apartment, it might not make sense. If you're moving into your retirement dream house, it might make more sense. If you're setting up your household to have space for future family members, it makes more sense. So as you can see, the answer to this question is a very personal one for every family, where you have to do the math, you have to have the discussions, and you have to make your own personal choice.
But it made sense for us because some of our items couldn't be purchased in Ghana. And many of our items cost a lot more in Ghana than in the States. I mean, just technology alone, between the Mac computer and laptop and some video equipment, it just made sense for us. And I mean, the tiles, we bought some tiles with us that at the time made sense that couldn't be replaced here in Ghana. Plus, I mean, who wants to spend the next months or years, I mean, even trying to purchase the stuff again? I mean, I don't. Even though I like shopping, I don't want to have to do this all over again.
We Googled about 20 shipping companies to start out with and called all of them. We threw away the few that looked too cheap, suspicious, and then the ones that looked too expensive, we got rid of 2 more. We had 16 left. Then we had to pick the people who shipped from the closest New Jersey port near us. Then we had to find the ones that worked on Saturdays. Not everyone worked on weekends. Then we went with the ones that did door to door. And then with the 4 left, we just picked the least expensive. Now, we're not going to name the company because our experience was really bad. So I'm just going to refer to them as the Misery Shipping Company. Misery Shipping. Now it's time to narrate the horror movie called The Container. I started getting quotes in January of 2022 for a September move. Quotes ranged from $4,500 to $8,000 for the remaining shipping agents. They all said to me it was too early and gave me some ballpark quotes anyway. But they all told me to call back about 2 months before we wanted to ship. So I called Misery back in July. Initially, we had booked for August 13th on a Saturday. Why Saturday? Because for where we lived, Monday through Friday was a no-go. We lived on a really skinny block in Brooklyn. It was a one-way block. People were always double parking. There were school buses, health buses, UPS, FedEx deliveries, other move. It was just a nightmare disaster. We couldn't do Monday through Friday, so it had to be a Saturday. So on July 25th, we made the booking for August 13th. Paid up, container booked. On Monday, August 8th, 5 days before the pickup, Misery informs me that there would be no pickup on the 13th, that we should postpone until the 20th. Otherwise, I would pay a per day fee to hold my contents in the container in some storage area somewhere, maybe $200 per day. On August 12th, we changed the date to August 20. On August 17th, Misery informs me August 20 is a no-go. Need to rebook for August 27th. Now, so far on August 25th, it appears to be a safe space for me to order movers. Why do I have to order movers? Because not every shipper moves your furniture. Some just deliver the container to you for you to load yourself. And the truck driver doesn't do any work. He normally just drops that container to you if you had a home, maybe in your driveway or your lawn. You'd fill up the container. He'd come back a couple days later, pick it up, and deliver it to the ship. So I had to order movers to get our stuff from our apartment on the 45th floor down to the lobby or the street and onto that container. So we use Dumbo Moving and Storage. So I booked Dumbo for 8/27, Saturday, 6 a.m. The thinking was to get my stuff to the street level so that when the truck showed up at 8 a.m. with the container, they could just load this container and it could be on its merry way. What made our pickup more challenging is that we only can do this on Saturday. Remember, Monday through Friday, no go. But the trucker only picks up on a Saturday. He didn't want to come out on a Sunday. So we also had to be wary of sanitation garbage that picks up in front of our building on a Saturday around the same time our pickup was due. We had to maneuver around all of the garbage that is set up for pickup the night before Saturday and that early Saturday morning. Okay, so here we are, back to August 25th, where I just booked Dumbo. I got 5 movers for 4 hours. So, 2 hours later from me booking the Dumbo movers, I get an email from Misery Shipping. Now, mind you, I'm out having lunch with friends. They're giving me a nice farewell lunch. We're having a good time, drinking beers. The email says, Dale, as mentioned to you a few times, there was only one driver who agreed to do this job on a Saturday. He got sick last night. He's at the hospital. So let's do this Monday. Please advise ASAP. Warm regards. I write back, as mentioned to you a few times, we can't do weekdays. So, if this is the only option, just cancel. Dale. At this point, I felt like we were in a game of poker. I didn't even tell you this at the time. I only told you this after. But here was the shipping agent, Misery, who didn't want to pick up on a Saturday, was pressuring me all along to do a Monday through Friday pickup, and at the very last second, after canceling twice, was trying to force me to do a weekday pickup. So I canceled with no backup plan. I began calling all of the other shipping agents who told me they couldn't help me for another 3 weeks. So I'm contemplating now on whether I should cancel the Dumbo movers.
Well, not only the Dumbo, but do we need to change our flight? Because we were leaving that following Thursday, I believe it was.
Got a plane to catch.
We had no furniture in our apartment, so it was just the mattress, pretty much.
Living in boxes.
Living out of our suitcase and out of boxes. So it was a logistical issue, and we really didn't know.
I rented a car
right.
to take up space for the shipping container. There were elevator reservations that were chaotic. So near the end of the workday, I got an email from the shipping company saying, Dale, the driver who got sick referred me to another driver, and he's saying he'll do it. I spoke to him and asked him to please check the address, blah, blah, blah. Shall I go ahead and reschedule it with him for Saturday? Please let me know ASAP. So we did that. Disaster avoided. End of chapter 1. Next chapter.
So we wake up on Saturday morning and meet the Dumbo movers downstairs. They started moving our furniture to the street level around 6:30. So I'm upstairs, Dale's downstairs. By about 7:15, we're done. So we're just waiting for the truck to arrive at 8 a.m. At this point, I wasn't even sure that the truck had left. We weren't sure the truck had left. The only request that I made to Dale was, can you please
You made me call because I wasn't trying to call.
And make sure they're coming, because he was just like,
but I called.
Wondering, and I'm like, I need to know, let's find out if they're really, really coming.
So I called. And,
8 a.m. No
8
truck
a.m.
still.
No truck.
8:10, no truck.
What else could go wrong? Well, remember that sanitation picks up our garbage Saturday morning. Normally they come 7 a.m. most times, and they're looking for a reason to skip the building and do no work. So we didn't want to get in like serious trouble with our building and having sanitation leave thousands of bags of garbage. But today, of course, they were late also and could show up any minute as well. So at 8:15, the truck pulls up around the corner. But what else could go wrong now? A, it wasn't the truck that we were expecting. We were expecting a smaller and shorter truck, which could have fit into the space that my rental car was saving for them. This truck was longer, had a sleeper, what is it called?
Yeah, sleeper cab. Yeah.
Sleeper cab on top, couldn't park anywhere on the street. So if we wanted to load this baby, we had to load the container while it was in the middle of the street. So we made the quick call to just go for it. And
So just to add one thing, he's busy in the top of the street preventing cars from coming down the street, because if they came down the street, they would be stuck because the container's there. Meantime, I'm at the truck with our stuff, because if you know New York City sidewalks, there's people walking by. And when people see stuff on the sidewalk, they're like thinking it's free stuff. So I'm just trying to make sure that no one picks up our stuff. Now that didn't happen.
everyone looks suspicious. Everyone looks suspicious.
But you have to be aware that people could just pick up something and go, because they're like, it's where the garbage is, because it's the garbage, then there's our stuff right there. So it was like, it's a lot of coordination going on that morning.
So what else could go wrong? A supervisor car that rarely comes with the garbage truck to give tickets out, all of a sudden is now coming with the garbage truck. So I just went up to the car and I told the guy, the supervisor, I said, look, this is my move. Just give me the ticket so I can get back to work. And what do you know? After hearing my story, he didn't even give a ticket. He was sympathetic to our situation. So we loaded the truck and off that container went. And that was the end of the chapter 2 drama.
Yes.
So we finally get the container shipped out of America. We clear out our apartment, we hop on a plane, we get to Ghana. Now we're just waiting for this container. Now we were talking with WalBlue, the customs agent we secured to handle our container once it reached the port here in Ghana. We got a notification from them on September 13th. Container will be here on 9/29, early. All the while, we still don't know what the charges will be once it gets over here. So now I'm chatting on WhatsApp with someone. On September 25th, I get a WhatsApp text that we will get charges when the ship rotates outside the port. So we're at the point where we are talking money now. I haven't met anyone from this company. We're chatting with someone. There seems to be delay after delay. So we said, you know what? Let's roll up on this company kind of unannounced to make sure that everything was legit. So we grabbed a cab about an hour and a half away, and we bum rushed the main office. And we were met with Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole, sounds like cow, looks like cow, but Mr. Cole. And we were really relieved to find out that, everything was legit. Good company. He knew who we were talking with. So now, it's September 30th, no container. Ship's supposed to come in on October 1. Now it's delayed to October 5. Now we get an invoice on October 6. We made the payment, but October 7, still delayed. October 10th, still delayed. On the 11th, I get a voicemail that is delayed till the 17th. I don't think the person even wanted to call me, even wanted to text me. And then it was supposed to be delivered on the 19th. Okay, so on the 19th, 12 noon, custom inspection is supposed to happen. Didn't happen till 3 p.m. At 6 p.m., I'm notified, inspection done, should be there by 9. The boss calls me at 8, says he'll be here by 10:30. So eventually they showed up at 10 p.m. We saw him from our apartment, dark, happy, relieved. What were your feelings when you saw them come around the corner? I think you saw them first.
Um, yeah, I think I saw them first. And I saw the headlights.
Pitch black outside.
It's pitch black except for their headlights coming around the corner. And we had prepared our complex that we would be having activity here during the night, so it didn't look weird to them. And I was very happy. I was elated, and I think we were just glad that it actually made it, and we couldn't believe. And I'm looking at the container, like it's the same number of the container, just to make sure that everything was good. But it was fine. That part of it was just sort of like a big sigh of relief. One thing you didn't mention when we were talking about the delays, there was a delay at the port here in Tema where it was such a backlog that our container ship actually left. Went to, what was it, Benin?
That's right. We didn't find this
Benin
out.
or Togo?
We didn't find this out until
Right.
later, after the
Exactly.
container was delivered. But there was such a backlog. I think the ship made the decision, rather than wait here, we could deliver to the next country
Right.
and come
And
back.
come back. So it really wasn't even the shipping shipping company's fault. It was because it seems to us like just people are making excuses.
I'm
But
looking to blame
there's
somebody.
so many things,
A lot of moving parts.
going on in the background, that patience was something that we had to learn, especially when it comes to shipping things or shipping a large container from the U.S. To Ghana or to Africa, pretty much anywhere, I guess, right?
So now let's talk cost. Break this down into 4 parts. So we got the supplies. That cost us about $1,000 in supplies, packing supplies, mostly tape. We started with some boxes, but it made more sense to use plastic bins instead. The U.S. movers were $1,500. The shipping company on the U.S. side was $4,500. On the Ghana side, to get through customs and pay everyone off, was $4,200. So all in, it cost us around 11,000 US dollars. For you, your packing supplies might be cheaper. You might not have to hire movers like we did if you're moving from a house as opposed to an apartment. Your shipping container could be less depending on the year. And as the worldwide logistical bottlenecks subside, and your customs duty charge could be lower as the US dollar continues to gain ground on the Ghanaian cedi. Would we do it again? Well, I know we wouldn't really want to go through all of the drama that we went through, but in our own personal case, I think we would probably do it for a couple of reasons.
I agree.
For what we have accumulated over our lifetime before we met and together as a married couple, for the cost, like you mentioned, the cost of our technology, for the uniqueness and one-of-a-kind, super hard to replace for some of our products.
Yeah, but also I felt like when you move to a new place, having the familiarity really helps you to not feel, as people say, homesick. Knowing that this is the couch I sat on, or knowing this is, the bed I slept on, or the pictures that I'm always looking at. It makes you feel like at home. So a lot of times I'll say to Dale, I'll say, oh, if it just feels like we moved apartments. It doesn't really feel like we left and went to another continent sometimes, because at home always just feels so familiar. And I think that's part, I feel, of the coping mechanism of just that transition of coming somewhere so far but then not feeling that you're really that far because everything around you looks very similar.
You know,
Familiar.
people don't talk about that enough. When we talk about people moving here and then having to move back home, there's a lot of things that contribute to having to pull the ripcord and go back. Finances, friends, loneliness, but no one talks about these little things that form a familiar support system that can help you cope, like you said. It doesn't get talked about enough, and I didn't think it would matter as much, so I have to really agree with you that once all of our stuff got here and we set it up, I felt like we could deal with Ghana and all of its surprises and all of the ups and downs that we're going to talk about over the course of this season. It helped me deal better. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Sure.
So yeah, this was the best decision for us.
We hope that we have given you enough to think about and enough to, assist you in making your decision on whether to ship or not to ship.
That's the end of this video, part 1. And part 2, we're going to have a discussion with the customs agent that we used here in Ghana, and they're going to answer a lot of good questions, and hopefully these 2 videos will be both entertaining in some ways to see all of the drama we went through, but hopefully they'll assist you in making your own personal decision on whether or not shipping a container makes sense for you. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to our channel, join our club, and as always, if you're in Ghana, look us up, come over for lunch, come over for dinner. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of stuff to share with you, a lot of opportunities to work on and evaluate and coordinate. So see you next time.
Africa, you're moving, Africa, the music, Africa, you're moving, Africa, you're very close, Africa, you're very close, Africa, you're dancing, Africa, you're dancing, Africa, you're prancing, Africa, you're prancing, Africa, romancing, Africa, you're going, Africa, you're going, Africa, you're going, Africa.